Hi everyone, this is Mr. Harden of Harden's Manga, here to tell you about Ichi the Witch, Volume 1. Our cover shows the lead Ichi with the dangerous looking dagger and an awesome golden crown over a witch's hat. The opening pages, however, don't show Ichi as a witch, but that of a hunter, and he's ready to get things done. Plus, we get a look at a witch on the opening double page, which is an absolute banger, and that's who will be changing Ichi's life. Luckily, we get 7 big old chapters to see how that will be happening in this volume 1. To note, the mangaka is a duo team with the writer of Welcome to Demon School Iramakun, an absolutely amazing manga I can't wait to talk about in the future, and the artist who has worked on Act Age, a promising manga that got canceled, but had incredible art. The opening of chapter 1 introduces us to Druid Mountain and its surrounding village. Plus, we get to see how good Ichi is as a hunter in a fun panel where he's holding a knife while staring down the guardian of the flower field, which kind of just looks like a big moose. Ichi interacts with the villagers, and we come to understand he is viewed differently than everyone else in the village. As a cart of girls are going off to a testing site for witches, Ichi is just throwing in the spoils from his kills, while everyone besides the girl he interacts with freaks out. She asks if Ichi will stay in the mountain, and he declines as we find out that Ichi is just built different. We get a background dive into how Ichi was abandoned on Druid Mountain with little more than a knife at 6 years old. This is a highlight of chapter 1 as we get amazing art of a young Ichi clinging on to life, along with a crazy panel of him taking down a wolf in a way that truly feels like a real survivalist story instead of fictitious. Eventually, we come back to the present and see Ichi start to set up a new hunt for a more mystical creature, with Ichi's belief of death for death, a concept Ichi adheres to when hunting to only kill things in which he intends to eat, or that harms him. Interestingly, we as readers get to see this creature can talk and is hunting the cart of girls Ichi had given some of his wares to, which leads to us the introduction of the witch in the opening double page, Descaras, the Abyssal Witch. Descaras is talking with Moneygold, another witch, and understands that they are hunting King Uraro, the King Magic. Descaras and Moneygold both deserve flowers for their outfit designs because, wow, Descaras is puffy and elegant while Moneygold designs flow and feels almost drippy. The artist really has been flexing in this opening chapter with their design skills. But back to the story, though, we learn that magic monsters can be acquired by a witch if they complete the beast trial. Aurora announces that his trial is quite simple and that you must stop his heart, and that is all. Unfortunately, though, for Descaras, we get a chilling panel where Aurora announces that no woman can scratch his heart. Of course, though, we get a huge 3/4 page panel of Ichi approaching Aurora, announcing he is a man and the hunt is on. Ichi gets our monster to trigger a trap, and blam! Ichi lands a clean blow on Aurora's heart, and we get treated to Ichi undergoing a costume change in a very intense first meeting with Descaras. The ending of chapter 1 is that of a learning moment, as us as readers find out that Ichi's transformation shouldn't be possible, as all witches are women. But since Aurora's trial was hyper specific to men, Ichi somehow obtained this new magical aptitude. Chapter 2 starts with a little bit of a breakdown of what just happened in chapter 1, as it was a lot, but honestly, it's super funny how Descaras draws here. It makes the panels really pop. Like, it's always fun when one of the leads shows us their doodle capabilities, and hers are killer. As we come back to the present, though, Ichi is found to be in a birdcage, while Descaras explains why, as he has caused quite a problem by obtaining magic. The Witches Association has been trying to get over 1,000 years. Descaris gives Ichi a choice of either running or being a companion to her. This is where we also get reintroduced to Ororo, as he has now taken on a more ethereal existence as Ichi's familiar, telling him to run instead. The reasoning is explained that if Ichi dies, the magical beast he has conquered will come back to life, which is pretty high stakes for Ichi. Plus, shout out to both mangakas here, as the story has only been 2 chapters and we've had great stakes set and art to match. Also, the chibi version of our two leads are both super cute. But back to the story again. Ichi is being won over to help the witches because Descara equates it to hunting and finding the unknown in volcanoes, oceans, and mountains. With that, Ichi is sold, and we get some beautiful panels as Ichi uses magic before leaving the mountain to cure all the destruction that happened due to him recovering Aurora's power. Chapter 3 starts by highlighting a new magical creature named Raiko, a lightning based creature who was not made too long ago, with multiple tails. Honestly, whenever any Kitsune look-alike character gets introduced into a series, I'm always excited. So Raiku's no different. The trial to obtain Raikou is to steal their gem without being hit by his lightning. Funny enough, though, as we learn all of this, isn't it cool to see Ichi hiding in all the panels as Raikou talks about it? Like, honestly, as Ichi catches Raikou in a big panel with the noose trap, you almost feel bad for our thunderclapping friend. As well, after the catch, we continue to flesh out Descara's personality, as she is very full of herself, saying, of course Raikou would try to and pounce on her, because she is so beautiful. She's a bit full of herself, but it's hard to take away her killer fashion sense, honestly. As well, Ichi really lays down his law of taking down those who kill for no true reason, as he felt he didn't need to make any announcement that his hunt was on. Eventually, Ichi claims the new magic and is left with the gem while Descars is getting scolded by Moneygold to return to the capital of Natali and the Witches Association, which is shown in a really cool panel spread that puts the perspective directly on the home of the witches that we will get to explore next. Chapter 4 starts us off with Ichi and Descaras already in the city of Natali. They are going through street vendors, and we get a really big breakdown on how witches' power levels work. Ichi is like, oh, this is crazy. So many people are using magic. Incredible. And Descaras is just like, ah, it's fairly basic here. See people spellcasting. A highlight of this market scene is Ichi and the leg booster boots. Ichi thinks they look nice and almost drops the ball in telling people he's the guy with magic. But honestly, funnier than that is watching Ichi swipe and use the boots to show off some crazy acrobatic skills to return a letter that fell during all the commotion. Turns out the witch who dropped the letter is our next big character introduction in Komugi. Komugi has a twin tail hairstyle and is shown to be clearly overworked in her introduction page, which I feel we as readers can all relate to at a time in our life. Komugi crashes the vehicle she's driving as an excited Ichi crashes into her, causing the accident, but is all too happy to have magic in his life. And that's how we lead into Chapter 5. Chapter 5 starts already inside the Witches Association and a new witch named Sharabadana. Sharabadana is rocking some long two-tone colored hair, fairly short, and of course oozing with style, as so many of the characters have had this volume. Her entrance panel is my favorite, as it starts with some pumps with little floating eyeballs in it. The introduction to Ichi is entertaining as she seems all in on jumping all over him to analyze him. With this, a handful of other witches get Shurbadana to calm down by getting Ichi to provide a strand of his hair. With the situation handled, we get reintroduced to Kamugi and the fact she is a part of the research club at the Witches Association. First thing she does is to present Ichi with a form, saying Money Gold has allowed her to be around Ichi, which starts to show how much of an anomaly Ichi really is in this universe. As imagine going into an important building and finding absolutely minimum people. This is when we find out as well that the stone Raikou the Lightning Beast left behind has something carved into it to use its spell, and is something only Ichi can do. Reason being is only the one who beat the beast can read the spell's name. Ichi in an observational room releases his new magic, and not at his target, but the mirror broadcasting his skill to all the other head honcho witches. We as readers don't get names for these witches, but the double page introduction for them is super awesome, as the designs they have really pop. Aurora, after this, speaks up and shows a form more similar to his beast form from chapter 1, stating, instead of being the fish in a bowl hunting magic, he should be hunting witches. And that's how we lead into chapter 6. Chapter 6 starts with a little insight on why Aurora has so much hate in his heart for humans. He's seen over centuries how his kind has been hunted and used as tools. While trying to appeal to Ichi to join him in the witch hunt, Aurora gets tossed with the judo throw. The interesting thing here is Ichi stating the reason why he's siding with the witches is that Aurora only shows bloodlust and care for himself. Eventually, things subside, and Ichi is approved by the Witches Association. So, a new team is formed: Descaras, Ichi, and a very reluctant Komugi. To end the chapter, we are told of Ichi's first mission to find this shark magic causing issues. The big panel shows our new favorite team in spiffy uniforms, and Ichi's killing it. Chapter 7 is the finale of this volume and sets up the hunt for the shark monster. We get a breakdown of Komugi feeling on to party with the Scars. It's nice that we get a lot more screen time on Komugi, as she hasn't had too much to say up to this point. She bounces off of Ichi well as someone who has grown up around magic and Ichi who hasn't, explaining how magic bags and water pens work. Ichi thinking it's the coolest thing ever, even telling Komugi she's amazing. This gets a small background drop on how Komugi sees herself negatively, and Ichi won't let that be, reminding her that she's the one making simple spells work properly, and that she's an amazing person. This provides a great panel of a blushing Komugi, which is super cute, and a very sad Descaras being left out of the conversation. Eventually, though, Ichi senses danger and jumps out of the carriage to save a little girl being chased by flying sharks, ending the volume on an amazing cliffhanger. Ichi the Witch Volume 1 has beautiful world building and character development. No character feels left behind, and everyone feels like they have immense room to grow. The art is fantastical, and all the magic beasts introduced look unique. Ichi, along with the Scaras and Komugi, will be a team that nobody wants to miss and comes highly recommended. So, thank you for taking the time to watch this review, as I have been Mr. Harden of Harden's Manga. And remember, manga is for everyone.